I love that shit. Collectively thinking about people not paying taxes, business owners being like, yeah, I'll send my state tax. I ain't sending my federal anymore.
Yeah, that
Go fuck yourself.
won't happen.
You can arrest 15,000 of us then.
It won't happen.
No?
They'll arrest 15,000.
Fuck.
But Bitcoin is basically going to do that over 30 years without violence.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, fuck. Bitcoin hit all-time high yesterday, didn't it?
Yeah.
Which is
70 something?
73?
Yeah.
73.9. Let
me know when it hits 1 million. Get that F50.
Get my 1 million.
But I'll get my $1 million. But Bitcoin is the ultimate. It's that the only way to fight authoritarianism and top-down control is via these these things that happen secretly in that they're like things that are so absurd they're impossible to predict. Like it would have been impossible. You've got these people at the CIA and the State Department that are like, I don't know how many of them are dedicated to sort of game theorying out what is going to happen over the next 50 years, probably a lot. But digital, the effect of the outcome of the invention of digital scarcity was not on their radar. And it's going to totally change the world over the next 50 years.
Oh. Oh. Crypto.
It's the coolest thing, in my opinion, of everything.
You know, it's cool. It's radical.
It's like the invention of fire.
Yeah.
It's a technology. It's a technology not in the sense of like a smartphone is a technology. It's a technology in the same sense that writing is a technology.
It's monetary's form of accountability, isn't it?
No, it's just money. You could just say it's money.
Yeah, I know, but like it's like it's not, money is highly manipulatable. It's highly.
So
so is Bitcoin?
No. So the reason why it's so important is people look at money and like there's a lot of pathology tied up in the discussion of money, because if you don't have money, you want money and you resent money, and you have this whole like, if you're lacking for money, or if money rules your life, or if you have too much money and you're obsessed with money, it occupies such a large part of your brain that you can't think clearly about it, and your idea of what it is like it's so intrinsic to life that it's like water or air, where you're not thinking about breathing, you're not thinking about what water and air really are, because they're so foundational and they're so just intrinsic to everything that you do. And money's like that, and it's kind of even more of a head whack, because if you don't have it, you're like a loser, right? So it's so tied up in it's so important to your genetic your genetic desire to reproduce and peacock and show that you're it's similar. It's sort of like sex. Like it's as important as sex psychologically. So it's hard to really think about it in a sane way and get a grasp on what it is. And what it is obviously it's a medium of exchange. It's the most commonly desired good. It's the universally desired good. But it's so central to civilization, and that's what people overlook. And there's a tendency, like the people on the left and people on the right. People on the right, they go. It's sort of the Christians they'll have a tendency to think that like money's the root of all evil. And obviously, if you critique consumerism, you are in the right. Like consumerism is this evil backwards thing, right? And then people on the left, when they look at money, they want to be like, it's the way that society should work is that we shouldn't have money. We should just have like this sort of sharing economy. And they'll imagine that tribes, and that the noble, the savages who are better than us, the tribals and the natives who are better than us and more in tune with spirituality and brotherhood and community, they don't need money, which is absolutely not true. Money has been around for a million years. The invention of writing, the first thing that was written, I believe, was a ledger, accounting. The first use of writing was for accounting. So money predates writing. And the tribes that people romanticize, they used shells, beads, they used stones, they used gold, they used money in the exact same way that everybody else uses money. They used money that was that had unforgeable costliness, which means like shells, for example, a shell from a beach that was very far away. If you had this, you proved that you went through some labor to get it. That's unforgeable costliness. Gold is very hard to dig up out of the ground. You don't just, unless you're a prospector, unless the gold rush, it's very rare that you're able to just find gold lying around. You usually have to go to great lengths to get gold up out of the earth. These island tribes that use stones with a hole through them as money, that was unforgeable costliness. It was like the labor that it would take if you're on this island where there's not big rocks everywhere to find a big rock. Same thing with beads. Some Native Americans used beads, and it was the beads they took so long to make. There was labor behind them. That was unforgeable costliness. And side note, Bitcoin has the same thing with mining. You have to spend a tremendous amount of computing power in order to prove that you've mined, you've validated a transaction. So it's completely erroneous, this idea that there's ever been a functional civilization where there was a sharing-based economy without money. Sharing is for lower than your Dunbar number. That's the 150 people. The Dunbar number is your brain is capable. I believe this is what it is. Just look it up. I believe it's your brain is capable of holding an impression of about 150 people. Yeah, maintain stable relationships with a maximum of 150 people. So if you're a small group of people, sharing is for your family, sharing is for people who are in your immediate vicinity that are genetically similar to you, that have a common goal, but if you're going above the Dunbar number, if you want to build a civilization that's bigger than 150 people, there isn't one that has a sharing, some type of communist economy. It just doesn't work. You need a medium of exchange to facilitate transactions between relationships that are above this number. And people on the left, and it's also especially strong with people on the left because leftists, and the more you lean communist, those people, they know that they are unable to produce anything that is worth anything to anybody else. That's why these broken people with ugly faces and the inability to communicate coherently, ugly people who can't write a sentence, okay, that isn't some brainwashed, regurgitated gobbledygook. One reason why they cling so desperately to this idea of a moneyless economy is because subconsciously they know that they are not worth money, that their time is not worth money. A lot of people fight for minimum wage. Most of these people, I would pay to have them not near me. Like there are a lot of people whose time is worth negative money.
100%.
Right? You think, oh, what's your time? Minimum wage should be $15. Everyone should make a minimum, should get $15. Most people's time isn't worth $15 an hour. In fact, a lot of people, you would pay $15 an hour to keep them the fuck away from you. So the people who lean communist,
like mass holes,
they're really not able to grasp what money is. But what money is, might be the biggest part the biggest like technology that is that is in the foundation of civilization, and it predates writing. Okay, so if you think that writing is foundational to civilization, money maybe even more so foundational to civilization. And this is not like, you shouldn't like glorify day trading stocks and being a parasite and conspicuous consumption and spending money on bullshit. This is not like a praising the glory of money, but it's just a good that is foundational to civilization. And what they do, what happens is, if you fuck with something, inflation, this monopoly money that we have in this country, if you take something at the top that's on the outside and you fuck with it a little bit, it just looks weird. Okay, if you're designing a car and you like tweak a body panel, you make it look weird. It just looks weird. If you mess with something down here at the foundation, if you fuck with the frame or the suspension geometry or the crankshaft or whatever, if you fuck with something that's at the base level, that has ramifications that squiggle through like cracks in
the car could tip over at 80.
Yes, the car could tip over at 30.
30. Right.
It's like a three-wheeler or something, or driving backwards. If you imagine the rear wheels steered, you know how fast it whips around when you're going in reverse.
Yep,
that type of shit. So what they've done by fucking with the money and taking us off of, like, essentially God's money is gold. That's essentially what gold is. It's like money that God put in the earth for us to fucking use as money, like, obviously. Okay, that's what it is. Anyway, you can skip that if you don't like that, but whatever. But by taking this foundational thing, it's like if they messed with the writing, which they're doing, it's like the double speak stuff and the political correctness and all this new, like, you can't say this, you have to phrase it a certain way. Basically the HR department stuff. What they've done with money is even more damaging, because it radically fucks with people's behavior. And this is why, bro, almost everybody that we know has at least had a phase like this. And we know people who are stuck in this forever, who are like frantic about kind of get rich quick shit. You know what I mean? Like
it's just gonna happen overnight.
We got to day trade. We got to start day trading. We got to start multi-level marketing, like that type of
cash grabby shit.
Cash grabby, like not thinking about contributing to society. What's the fastest cash grab we can do?
As if there's no consequence of it.
As if there's it's as if there's no future. And it's not because all these people that we know who've done this, and when we've had phases like this, and people who are stuck in this, it's not necessarily that they're bad people or something. A real major part of this is because subconsciously, everybody knows that because of inflation, the dollar that you have in your hand now will never be worth more. It will always be worth less. Like, if you have $100, it's a race to put that money to work. This money, the thing that you are, and it's the thing, by the way, when people denounce money, you can denounce money, but you have to be aware of when to draw the line and not overdo it, because what money is, in addition to being this thing that's easily gameable, and you can be a parasite and you can do get rich quick stuff, but if you're that stuff aside, what money is, it's what you're trading your blood. You're trading your time for it. You're trading your most precious resource. You go into work, you trade your time for money. You are giving up your most precious resource that anybody has, the thing that old billionaires would give up their empires for, more time. Okay? That's the number one. Time is the most precious of all. You are trading it for money, so that you can, because you need to live. You have to have this meta good, this meta energy in order to pay for rent and food and everything else. You have to do this. And there's no better there's no better way. You can share inside a family or inside a very tight group, but that does not work above this Dunbar number. So for all its evils and all the ways you can denounce it, money is a compressed form of your time, blood, vitality, your essence, your energy, everything that you have here on this world. In addition to all the evil things that it is also a compressed form of your blood. Okay. By tweaking it, tweaking the parameters and fucking with it and making it so that it's always worth less. It's worth less tomorrow than it was today. In 10 years, it'll be worth less than it is right now by far. In 50 years, the money that you have now will almost be worth nothing. They have what that does, that little tweak at the base level changes everything, and it makes it so that people, this frantic, get rich quick, got to do it now, like it totally warps the psychology of the average person and like breaks people.
Mm-hmm.
And Bitcoin is just going to undo that. Like things like cathedrals and the Sistine Chapel and works of art like sculpture that takes 10 years to make.
Yeah.
Nobody does that.
No.
Nobody nowadays
Football stadiums
is making
casinos.
Yeah.
The best casinos in the world. The best football stadiums.
Yeah.
Those are works of art that take years.
Indeed.
But no.
But nobody is doing these projects where you are like pouring yourself into it for a decade to get it done, except for like very weirdo outlier people who are doing like, I can't even think of anything. But just everything that's fucked up is a symptom of the money being fucked up.